Welcome into another episode of Preacher in the Hat, and tonight we're going to be talking about passion. Thanks for joining us. My name's Eric. I have Derek. Nope, I don't have Derek with me. Okay, anyway. Might want to cut that out. Chris probably isn't going to cut it for me. Yeah, my name's Eric. Got Chris and Steve with me. We don't have Derek with us today, but I was operating today off of like 4 hours of sleep and came here tonight to be with you fellas. And when I was sitting at the dinner table this evening, my wife said, "You just kind of look like you're in a daze." I was like, "Well, I mean nothing by it, but I think you're probably right."
Yeah. Yeah.
You feeling hype tonight, Chris? No, he's not either. You seem to relate to my intro pretty well.
Yeah, that was
It
nice.
looks to me like the only one that's got any energy here tonight's the old guy. So how about that?
There you go.
All right.
It's okay to have energy.
We got the Super Bowl coming up. Chris, you a game or a commercials guy?
Yeah, I don't really care about the NFL. But I have watched a couple of games. I love those 10-7 games. You know what I'm saying? Like where the plays actually matter. You know what I mean? But I watched the one with I think it was the Broncos
and Patriots in the snow.
Yeah, and there was no snow, and then it was snow. So
He got all excited when the snow happened. All of a sudden, when the snow was in the fourth quarter, Chris couldn't get his eyes off the screen then.
Yeah.
Because he was here at my house when that happened.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it was. I'm just not used to watching it. So, I mean.
I love a good snow game.
Yeah.
It changes it up big time.
it did, and it happened so fast this time. It was just crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
It was when I saw the back blower going down the line. I guess it was like the 10-yard line. You know, it's like, yeah, we're in. You know,
If you were at that game, it's hard to pretend that you're a huge fan of one of those teams. So I don't know if this really works. But if you can pretend you're a huge fan of one of those teams and you're at that game, does the snowstorm fire you up as someone in the crowd, or does it make you miserable and want to go home?
I'm miserable. It doesn't fire me up. And the other thing it helps me do, it makes me think that my team won't be able to do the plays that they practice so hard to do because they're slipping and sliding all over the place.
Yeah.
It seems counterproductive to me. That's the way. That's my response.
Go ahead. No, I'm not going to answer first. Before you, I mean.
yeah. I mean, I wouldn't. I don't think I'd even be there. I mean, I don't. What was the temperature there? I don't know. It was like.
It wasn't super. It wasn't like sub-zero or anything. I think it was high teens, low 20s.
So how much money did it cost to go to that game, I wonder? I mean, like I saw the national championship game was like $4,300. I wonder how much it was on those championship games.
I have no idea.
Wasn't
See, that decides my passion too. Like if I paid several $1,000s for a ticket and I'm out there sitting in the snow and can't hardly see and my team is sliding around, I feel cheated. That's me.
That is you.
I'd be cheated.
It wouldn't be the cost of a Southern gospel concert in Bessemer on a Friday night, would it?
$15, my brother.
See, I think the snow starting in the middle of the game, in the middle of the second half, would probably be invigorating.
Yeah.
If you get there to like having to shovel out your seat just so you can sit there or stand there, you know, that's probably not as awesome. But if the snowstorm starts while you're standing,
makes some difference, I think.
in the stadium, that probably, I bet that probably works.
It sure piqued your interest, though, Chris.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm watching from the couch. Yeah.
I was just thinking, how is anybody doing anything at this point?
Yeah,
you know,
right.
like you can't see anything. You can't, that ball. God forgive these guys that have to kick it. I mean, that had to feel like a block of ice. You know what I mean?
You were feeling for the kickers,
goal.
I could tell. That's probably because your son was a kicker.
That's how Michaela is like. She can't handle like bad kicking performances. She like when we're watching football, she can't do it. That's what. And well, I say she can't do it, but she hates it when the kicker misses a field goal and then the camera's just all over him.
Right.
You know, she's the type of person where it's like, okay, the offense stalled out and they asked him to kick a 57-yard field goal and he missed it. Why is the camera all over him?
Right,
true.
Yeah.
Why not the quarterback who failed to throw the ball?
Or just
the running
not
back?
just, I mean, you know, it doesn't have to be on someone else, even, you know.
Right.
I don't know. But that's kind of where she's at. Like when we were watching college football playoffs and Alabama was playing Oklahoma, and Oklahoma's all American kicker,
all pro in college. He's
best,
all pro.
Yeah, best kicker in the country by far.
Sure.
Missed a 36-yard field goal, and they, you know, the announcers are going crazy because they can't believe he missed it. Just constantly talking about it. They can't believe he missed it.
Right.
And, you know, cameras all over him. Alabama gets it, you know, has the ball back, and then, you know, they get a good play, and then they put the camera on the kicker, and she, you know, she can't stand that sort of thing. And then he missed another one at the end of the game, and he's crying, you know, hugging his mom, and the camera's all over him. And we were talking, it's funny, we were talking about, like, they lost the game by 10 points.
Yeah,
He missed two field goals.
Do the math.
That's 6.
Right.
They still lose. You know, it's like you know, you make both those field goals, you still lose.
Yeah, you never
the
see
camera's all over
You
him.
never see after a loss the camera's going to the left guard. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The guy who had the crippling holding penalty.
You never
Missed
see
the
it.
block, you know.
I have never, and I don't know. Probably because my kid, a couple of them kicked in their career, but I cannot pull against another. I don't care if it's the game-winning field goal against my team. I can't do it because I know what those.
He misses
I just can't do it.
I can definitely hope he misses it. Like I was thrilled when that Oklahoma kicker missed.
me too.
You know, I loved it, but I do not like the camera on the kicker that missed the field.
I think some of that happens is because we have such an appetite for failure. It's crazy.
Yeah.
If you look on the screen, you know, whether it's the news or sports or whatever, there is apparently a huge appetite for failure because that's a lot of what people talk about.
Right.
And they keep putting the camera on the guy that failed, whether he's a kicker or the quarterback or somebody else. The appetite for failure, there's like a passion for failure. You know, I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Well, you'll see it in when, like, I mean, I've been to way too many college football games because Tyler played for. It seemed like 12 years. I know it wasn't, but like, I'm like, get a COVID year, get another year, whatever. But the point is, you would like. There are some mean humans out there, you know. Like stuff will fly out of people's mouths watching a game, and I'm like, well, hold up, man. We just play, you know.
Right. It's like, how can you care that much?
Yeah. We had a friend who he played. He was biracial. He was white and then Hispanic, and but he got recruited by an HBCU, right? And so they were like, "Just come on, kick. We just need a kicker," you know. And so he said it was my first time playing at the Classic, and he said, Dave, he said. He walked out on that field to warm up, and he said the filth just coming out of people's mouths. He's like, "I'm just Dave from Texas, man. I mean, I'm a good guy, you know." But it really will blow your mind as to like what people, the passion that, I mean, it's not the right kind of passion, but it's just like, I mean, I'll see people like glad that, and I can't do that. If I see a guy get hurt, I just don't like it. You know what I mean? And I can't stand, you talk about the camera thing where people keep showing an injury. Like, I don't need to see Joe Theismann's leg broke in 2, 3, 6 pieces. Like, I just don't. And so I have this weird, I don't know if maybe I need to see a therapist, but like if I see an injury and they're like, let's see where that ankle turn. Like, let's not.
Oh, I don't
Let's not do
rewatch
that.
it.
I don't need to see that. I
it,
trust you. He's in the tent. And we're getting him some help, you know. But I just don't need to see that,
That's
you know. And this.
So is it true that we have an appetite for failure? And as long as we're passionate about something, that's okay, or what?
No, we have an appetite for other people's failure.
That's what I mean.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is crazy.
Because sometimes I would be sitting, because we would always sit with the families, right, in those games, because they had a section of play, and so people would say stuff, and I'm like, what was sad was, even if there was families that were angry about the starting quarterback, I'm like, I'm sitting by his folks.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm sitting by his folks. Let's just, whether I am or not, it's like it's someone's kid, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
You know,
and I think people, you get to dehumanize the kids in that are playing, and so if you don't know them,
right.
you feel like you get to respond any kind of way that you want.
Sure.
It's also like a quarterback misses a throw 50 yards downfield by a yard and a half, 4 feet at the most. And you go ballistic. You see people going ballistic because he missed him, and you can't even. He missed a 50-yard throw by 4 feet, and you can't even throw the ball 35 yards, much less 35 yards under pressure with people breathing down your neck. But it's like
you can't throw a pine cone to your dog.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
No, I get you.
That's exactly right.
I get you, bro.
That's exactly right.
Right.
But we still think we're owed the right to trash that dude because
you've had 5 beers already and you're just yelling.
Well, and you paid for
things.
a ticket.
Right. Yeah.
Paid for a ticket, too.
Oh, I used to, we would go to games, and we've been into like every kind of venue, from Nebraska to Boise State to just LSU. I mean, big stadiums where we brought more people than theirs,
Yeah.
And so we've been in every kind of, went through the COVID year. So it's been, and people don't change. Like, there's always that dude that just does not care. And I'm like, and the dad is sitting there listening. And it's like, at some point, I just don't know how they would do it. I don't know how they, if someone was berating my kid like that, because I know the amount of time these guys really put in to their craft is just unbelievable. To your point with kickers, you work all week to have maybe a couple opportunities. You get your extra points, but field goals, you might go 2 games without even getting a shot at a field goal. You might have a game where you have 5.
Right. And it's funny too, especially with kickers,
right,
is if you have a stadium, let's just get a nice even number of 100,000 people in there. How many people could walk down to the field, line it up, and kick an extra point that wouldn't get blocked?
And you mean like a college extra point?
A college extra point that wouldn't get blocked or missed. I mean, how many people out
Most
of 100,000
them would tear their ACL probably trying, Yeah.
I think you probably wouldn't get. You'd probably be lucky to find 1,000 people that could sneak it over the line. And I'm not talking about nobody out there just lifting it over the crossbar. I mean, like actually facing a rush and not getting your kick blocked, an extra point blocked.
So one of the best definitions I heard of football years ago was it's a stadium where there are 22 people running around on the field badly in need of rest, and 60,000 people in the stands badly in need of exercise.
That's right. That'll preach right there, bro.
So I'm saying that they're sitting there and they're hollering at like you're saying, Eric, they're hollering at everybody else who's not doing it when they're up there and badly in need of exercise and practice themselves a lot more than the people on the field. So those kids on the field, they usually need some rest. But we don't need the rest. We've got energy to holler at them of those that do need rest.
It would still never cease to amaze me. And I know part of it's alcohol, obviously, because a lot of these stadiums, I think even the college ones, you can drink, but just the things that will fly out of people's mouths, and it's like, and I think to myself, there's no way this could mean this much to you. It just couldn't. Surely it couldn't.
It can't. Once you get... It shouldn't once you reach a certain level of emotional maturity. I feel like. Yeah. I think I've talked about this on the podcast before, maybe even recently, about how when it had to change.
Oh yeah.
Like it can't be like that forever.
Yeah, sure.
It can't be like that forever.
Right.
And you got to
start embarrassing yourself? Like, did someone
No.
someone recorded me? I'll tell you how it happened for me.
Oh.
I was coaching. kids.
Wow.
Kids. And I thought I was a pretty good dude, you know, and someone had me on video.
Intentionally?
Well, no, not like they were like
They weren't critiquing
filming
you.
you.
No.
Yeah.
It was just, but I could hear myself, and I said, okay, that's going to change right there.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't stand the way I sounded. You know, nothing about it was good. And I mean,
that's
it wasn't. And I wasn't even like one of those types of guys. And I literally sat down, and that's kind of how I coached.
So when it was kind of the same thing for me, not recorded.
Yeah.
But for me, it was how long a crappy feeling lasted.
Because of a game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, what happens on Saturday can't bother my Sunday. And honestly, and then beyond one step further than that, what happens at lunch can't ruin my dinner. Kind of the same thing. So on Saturday. So for me, when the clock hits zero, if it was a loss, it's gone. It's over. It's done with. And I got to move on. Because it's the same thing. Like, what if I did that? You're talking about kids. My son's about to start playing baseball for the first time. He's played soccer before. It's pretty uncompetitive. The soccer has been, they don't keep score and that kind of thing. So baseball, they're going to keep score.
Yeah.
And so what if he sees me like it do or die based on how his baseball team plays, or how he plays.
Well, he's watching.
Yeah, that's not going to work.
Right.
So I totally agree with you. It's one of those things where you're like, okay, we got to do something about that.
Yeah.
We got to change that.
Well, I remember, being a West Virginia Mountaineer fan has never been that fun. I mean, we've had like slithers of hope, but you got to go way back, you know.
Are you talking about football specifically here
just
now?
sports
in general.
You know,
okay.
We do have a great rifle team, from what I've been told. But you go into the basement and you realize I just spent 3 hours screaming at a TV away from my wife. She's probably up there thinking she would come down and say on a basketball game, she'd say, "Hey baby, how much time's left?" I said, "It's only 1:12." She said, "I'll see you tomorrow."
Right.
Because those games last forever
yeah.
at the end. Just time out, foul, whatever. But yeah, I would feel like sickened by how I felt. Like, what is going on right now? Like, why this isn't paying the mortgage? This has no bearing on anything eternal. And I am like, I'm wound up inside. Like, I can feel it inside of me because of a bunch of 18-year-old kids that never are going to know me ever. And that was done. But now my pendulum swung way back in the other direction. So I was like, I don't ever watch hardly anything. But it's kind of cool because you don't care. Like, it's like, okay, wow. Okay, that's cool. You know, it doesn't. And so I can enjoy it actually because it's not that deep. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the passion still stays, you know. I mean, it's not going to change some folks. So,
do you temper your passion, or did you get rid of it?
Yeah, I probably oversteered.
I don't think that's a negative.
Yeah,
I was just asking. I wouldn't say one is good, one is bad.
Yeah. But. Yeah, we traveled so much there for a while watching games. I was just like, when it was done, I was done. Like, you know what I mean?
It's time to rest.
Well, it was time to rest. And then having a team that sucks is really good for you oversteering, you know, because you're like, they kind of kill your hope. And you're like, I got no hope.
Yeah.
I got no hope, you know? But I don't know. It just to me, I could never understand my wife not caring. Like, what is wrong with her? What is wrong with her? Something's desperately wrong with her. And something was desperately wrong with me.
With you, yeah.
That's right, you know?
Well, I think sometimes the opposite of passion is apathy. And so I'm not sure that apathy or misguided passion, either one or the answer. There may be another answer
Right.
somewhere along the line.
Right. I agree.
I prefer to try to shift my focus into things that I can actually participate in. So I still love sports. I mean, look, I got the hoodie on right now. Football, basketball, especially, no doubt about it. But as far as being all about something, that it's like I'd rather feel that way about something that I can actually do myself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So and it's also a little bit convicting to be that frustrated. You know, Dad kind of mentioned the thing about the joke about all the people in the stands are the ones that needing exercise. Mm-hmm. And it feels a little bit convicting to be acting like that from a couch with an open bag of Doritos in front of my mouth while, these guys are out there giving everything they got and me fussing about it. Mm-hmm. And it was something that led me to, at the beginning of this year, feeling like that I needed to get up and actually do and be a part of something that's actually challenging, like to challenge myself.
Yeah.
So my wife and I, Michaela, we signed up a little bit on a whim, and that was sort of on purpose. All the way out in October, we're running a Spartan race in Nashville, Tennessee.
Is that right? What is
Which
that?
is?
Never heard of a Spartan
a
race.
5K with obstacles.
Okay.
Like, I hesitate to say military style obstacles because that's not like all completely true, but there's it's kind of like that. So whereas your normal 5K is probably going to take you like a half hour, some people a lot faster than that, but generally speaking, a 5K is thought of as like a half hour kind of thing. A Spartan 5K is more like an hour and a half. So a lot of upper body strength involved and that sort of thing. And so we scheduled it out all the way. I wanted to schedule it all the way to October and be difficult enough that I would have to start doing things to prepare for it right now.
Oh, you're in training. You're in training.
So if I scheduled a 5K in October, well, I've done like more than a dozen of those. So I could just start running at the end of August, start of September, and be ready at the beginning of October. So I wanted to do something where that was not possible. That was not the case. It was something that would get me moving earlier. And I am a competitive enough person that I'm passionate about what I'm planning to compete in.
You don't like to lose, bro. It's okay.
It's not so much that, because that style of thing, it is really important to understand that you need to compete against yourself. It's the same thing for me, like in disc golf. Like when I'm playing in a tournament, I want to make sure that I'm playing against me. I'm not playing against the rest of the field, because I know when I get out there, if there's 72 dudes out there on the course that day, that 56, 60 of them are on paper already better than me. Like it's not, so I'm playing against me. I'm out there to have fun, that sort of thing.
I like that. A self-aware man. I like that.
And so the same thing with the Spartan race. Like I'm going to go out there, and Michaela and I are doing a doubles thing. Like we're kind of tag teaming it, which is new to, it's kind of a new format that they have, which is pretty cool. So we don't have to both do all the obstacles, and so it'll be really fun to be able to be out there and have somebody with you that like you're encouraging each other together as you go.
That's cool.
But still kind of competing a little bit. We suckered Derek and Catherine into it as well. So
Is that right?
they're doing it too. Yeah.
Are y'all going to have some like theme music?
I don't know. Gotta figure something out,
That's
right?
right.
But yeah, I
Can
want.
Preacher in the Hat sponsor them, Chris? What do you think?
think so.
Why not, huh?
Yeah, right. But all that to say is that I've found, like, as I get older, that I'd rather channel, as far as competitive passion, channel that into things that I'm actually doing.
I like what you're saying. It's things that you can participate
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
And then also, I mean, it's going to shift to my kids getting into playing sports. You know, I want to focus more on that. Like, I do not want to be the guy that's like, I'm not going to be the guy. I'm not even going to say I don't want to be. I'm not going to be the guy that tells my wife to take my kids to whichever of the kids' game while I finish watching the Bama game.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Okay. Like, there's,
what if it's Alabama, Georgia?
No, I'm not doing that.
Okay.
I'm going to be at my kid's game.
Okay.
And so if my wife hears me saying this, she's welcome to hold me to that if I ever slip up on that. And it's the funny side of that. You hear people talk about, like, fall weddings, right?
Right.
Like, that might be a little different depending on who it is. You know, it's like, if I don't know you that well, I'm probably not coming to your wedding on a fall Saturday. If it's just a courtesy invite anyway. But it's one of those things where, like, I'm going to be at my kid's game if there's a conflict like that, and it's no question.
Yeah.
Cuz I hear people talk about stuff like that. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't go to XYZ because I don't miss Bama games, or not just Bama. That's my team. People do that for every team. To me, for me, that's unacceptable.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's not passion. That's addiction.
Right.
Well, it's clear that you can be passionate about unhealthy things, sometimes even wrong things. There's people that are real passionate about doing wrong things, too.
Yeah.
So passion by itself is not some great thing. It's like you said, what are we passionate about? It matters.
So, I got a question for you guys, and I did this to us last time. I'm going to do it again.
Okay.
You ought to come back next week. We'll see you on the other side.